Did you cook anything or you gonna just
The deliberation monthly board meeting of the Aliquippa School District Board of Directors for Wednesday, June 9th, 2021 is now called to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. McBride, may we have the roll call, please?
Mrs. Tori Durham Flanagan. Here. Mrs. Tina Price Jeans. Mrs. Janice Kane. Present. Mrs. Nicole Bible.
Here.
Ms. Catherine Kalalala.
Here.
Mrs. Stephanie Mason.
Here.
Ms. Sandra Gill.
Here.
Mr. Ezra Lowe.
Mr. Ezra Lowe.
He's muted. He's here.
Okay. And Mrs. Larita Stewart.
Here. Dr. Carbone, do we have anything from the sunshine?
Nothing to report. Okay. At this time, I'm going to ask Ms. Shepard to come forward and tell us about something she did at the elementary school and acknowledge a few people. Ms. Shepard.
You mind if I take my mask off? Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Good evening.
Mrs. Stewart actually contacted me a few weeks ago regarding something that I did for my teachers at the elementary school during Teacher Appreciation Week. And I did things a little differently this year. I wanted to include our families in Teacher Appreciation Week, so I put it out there on Class Dojo and on Facebook for our families to nominate a teacher to be recognized during Teacher Appreciation Week. And I got over 60 nominations for my staff. And out of those nominations, read through all of them. Actually, every teacher was sent all of their nominations, and I did make some selections. I will say I only planned to spend a certain amount of money, but after getting the nominations, I decided to open my pockets a little wider to bless them because the nominations were actually very touching. I will not share the nominations because some families really went into detail. Some things were personal, and it wasn't for everyone's eyes to see. It was just for mine and the teachers. So I will just recognize them as they were selected. And we will start with our, hold on one second. I was just told that I had to do this presentation, so bear with me. We will start with our honorable mentions. And those teachers received a $10 gift card from me to Subway. That will cover a lunch or two, I guess. They are our third grade teacher, Mr. Gary Stumpf. If you can stand up. And if my memory serves me correctly, it was his nomination from the Dawson family that actually got him recognized. Second, we have fourth grade science teacher, Mrs. Heather Davis. And basically, it was all of hers because they all said the same thing pretty much about Mrs. Davis. Mm-hmm. Next, we have our second place winners. They received a $15 Subway gift card from me. That's first grade teacher, Mrs. Kim Burbage. And all of her nominations said the same thing as well about Mrs. Burbage. Next, we have kindergarten teacher, Miss Brittany Lay. And I just have to say something really funny about her nomination. The father said that she was a godsend. He got tired of trying to tell his son the difference between this number and that number and how to pronounce it. He said he just gave up, but Miss Lay did it like it was nothing. So that was really cute. And then we have our STEM teacher, Mr. Signorelli. He was also, it was a nomination from the Dawson family as well. The funny thing about that nomination is now he has the whole family doing STEM. They're going out buying science projects and doing that in the evening. So way to go for that. And our first place winner received a $25 Subway gift card from me, and that's kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Jamie Hildebrand. her nomination actually had me in my office crying. So it was just that touching. And even when I read it in front of the staff, I cried again. So what that family put in that nomination, Jamie was a shoe-in for first place for recognition. So I commend them. They were the ones who won the nominations, but my staff has worked really hard during this time, and they all deserve the pat on the back. So thank you so much. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I forgot someone. I forgot Mr. Smith. He wasn't in the original post because he was not there. And he is our sixth grade math teacher. Stand up, Mr. Smith. He didn't get recognized the same day because I felt he should know first before all of the staff, and he was not in that day. But Mr. Smith was one of the teachers who actually went door to door and delivered math supplies to his students. So that's what they talked about for him. Thank you. I am so sorry about that. Thank you.
I just want to say that all of you have had one of my children, and I agree, you all deserve it. You're very blessed. Thank you.
And I would like to say on behalf of the school board, I would like to thank you as well. I understand the challenges that being this virtual model, this in-person model, this hybrid model, I definitely understand the challenges that brought to you. I have a level of respect for the rigor that it took for parents to dig in and get that done. So I understand, I respect you all for it, and I appreciate it as well.
Okay. Okay. Also, over the last couple of months, we've had a lot of discussion regarding the ESSER's funding that we are going to receive. We've talked about anything to enhance our educational system. We've talked a lot about air quality as far as different machines or HVAC upgrades. Well, there's a little bit more to it. Between Mrs. Engelman and Mr. Collins and myself, we've engaged in conversations with different vendors, and this evening we have Brian Town from Constellation here. He just wants to give a short presentation on some of the things that we could look at as far as using our ESSER's money and moving forward. So, Mr. Town.
Thank you. For the presentation, I'm going to keep me on track. Give me 1 second to get this started. Change the color, that's a good start. Let's see if that turns on. It sounds like it. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Is that a little better now? A little bit? Okay. I'll take my mask off here too, if that's okay. Maybe that'll help out.
Turn the light down.
It's starting to warm up. Again, thank you for having me this evening. My name is Brian Town, and I am with Constellation. Let's see if that takes the full screen here. There you go. And over the years, I'll go through the history of what we have had with the Aliquippa School District and administration. I'm going to walk you through some of the progress that we made dating back a few years and talk about the things the superintendent introduced us to do today. A number of things have changed. We're talking about some of the ESSER money and how that may be incorporated into what's called the Pennsylvania Guaranteed Energy Savings Act, or GESA, to make improvements financially as well as infrastructure-wise within the Aliquippa School District. Give you a quick overview of Constellation, the history, the funds, and then a path forward that we've dialogued with administration. If you don't know Constellation, we are part of Exelon. We're part of a Fortune 100 organization. I've highlighted 3 items up on the picture there for you. I specialize, as does my group, within efficiency and infrastructure within facilities and buildings and schools. We've done thousands of projects across the country, and I also noted that we've done over 60 under the specific Guaranteed Energy Savings Act here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania that goes back to 1996 is the original legislation. So it's a quarter of a century old, so it's nothing new with respect to contracting. What we do is traditionally consult with our clients, help them prioritize their needs and look for financial solutions where we engineer, we procure, and we construct solutions to their problems. that can be a number of things from electrical, mechanical, roof systems, windows. We're very much in that energy conservation and infrastructure segment, if you will. So our goal for projects, and I'll talk about a couple of them later in the presentation, we're currently doing Beaver County. The county commissioners selected us roughly a year ago, May, and we're doing roughly $10 million of infrastructure for them under this program. But it's to be turnkey to help you accomplish what you want to get done with some of the funding that has a sunset provision or an end date on ability to be used, which I'll talk about a little bit deeper. In 2018, we engaged administration with the services that we do. They talked with some of our clients, and in 2019, associate of mine who can't be here tonight, Larry Godleski, gave a presentation to the Board of Education about the Guaranteed Energy Savings Act and how it may apply to help you fund improvements from dollars that you already spend in your energy and operating costs. We identified areas in lighting, HVAC, building envelope, and water conservation within the district to go ahead and squeeze dollars out to fund improvements. And we worked, Pat's here somewhere, I think, with Pat for a number of walkthroughs there he is. I saw him raise his hand, thank you. And the meeting seemed to go very well, and then the world got shaken up. But before I talk about COVID, I'll just kind of give you a graphic representation of what a GIZA project is designed to do. The column on the left is your energy and operating costs. By reducing what you spend and utilize, we free up dollars from that utility side and operating cost side to pay for those improvements within the district. And then we, as Constellation, part of Exelon Fortune 100 company, guarantee those savings to be there annually so it can offset any costs for their inclusion in installation within the district. So that is the Guaranteed Energy Savings Act. 2020 COVID hit. I'm still not back in my office, don't expect to be back in my office until probably September of this year. So I'm working from home, and I'll say out of Hampton Inns across the Commonwealth. But during that time, hats off to the school district, Pat and his team. There was a donation of LED lighting products, some of our recommendations that were given to you, and they've accomplished roughly about 80, maybe 85% of the district has been done. So they did a good job during shutdown to help save you guys some dollars, so kudos to them. And in late 2020, early 2021, the ESSER funding came to be. The federal government stepped in to try and help education, help kids get back, and help protect kids within the school systems. Not only here, but also colleges. I know Beaver Community College as well, speaking with them. But that funding was available and is available to be utilized. Some of the allowable uses, this is very abbreviated from a very long bill out of Washington, D.C., but it's learning loss, it's training, sanitizing and cleaning, and then that technology to help support that education to get the kids caught back up, and they've got some restrictions on a percentage that you have to carve out for that. And they also included, which is green up there, my eyes are a little bit off, maybe the projector's off just a little bit, also school facilities to help you make it a safer environment, improve indoor air quality, do such things as additional maintenance services to protect students and eliminate and reduce those hazards. What it's not allowed for are things like a parking lot, buying a truck with a plow on it, cafeteria equipment, or athletic facility improvements. So they really wanted to hone in on education, safety, and facilities with those dollars that are being issued to you in a grant fashion that you apply for. Then you get dollars from the state to go ahead and do, you implement and cross things out and check the boxes down the path. Going back to the facilities, I expanded there on that last bullet point to show you some of the things that are identified in there. You'll also see windows and door replacement. So what that brings into play from our conversation back in 2019 is the HVAC, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and controls. Some of those problems still exist from our last presentation that we did for you, as well as building envelope. We spent some time with Pat talking about the windows and roofing systems and water infiltration into the building. So this may be a blessing that it's actually has the opportunity to do more for you with some of this funding than just savings alone. So that's why we came back and re-engaged the district and had this conversation about how can we help you with what you were trying to accomplish. Now we can go deeper, we think, should the district wish to pursue that and go ahead and do so. What does this mean? We've got grant monies. We're going to have savings that will be guaranteed. How else does this benefit Aliquippa and the taxpayers? What I tried to represent on this slide here, that top line, it's blue, is your repair costs that you pay to fix the heating and air conditioning, fix the control systems. You had a lightning strike on some lighting controls that's still out of service. Those costs go up over time just as your car does as it ages and you put more miles on it. The green box down at the bottom left is that injection of ESSER funds that could be utilized for new equipment or repairs to equipment to bring them back in check, almost at that new car off the showroom lot, where you have that warranty on those systems for a period of time. And you do have to maintain them, tends to go up. But the spread in between those is savings in your budget moving forward. I've been doing schools now for just over 26 years in specifically these types of programs. You guys are getting hammered financially with the PSERs, health insurance costs, my Lord, COVID for sure, and other things. Budgets are getting tighter. How do we maximize this? We see this as a financial opportunity beyond an infrastructure opportunity to put those costs in check near and long term by digging deeper into the infrastructure and trying to get them repaired or up to speed, newer, if you will, or replaced. Beyond those savings in maintenance and repairs long term, systems aren't getting any younger. So top right corner, at some point in time, just like that car, you've got to replace it when it's starting to cost too much to repair. So failure to address some of the systems that you have in place, repair costs will go up and that repair price will come sooner because you didn't spend those grant dollars that are earmarked for these types of projects. Then you go back to the taxpayers, you look at bonds, you look at refunding of debt and potentially tax increases. So financially, it's an opportunity. I think it's actually a broader opportunity than we talked to you about 2 years ago. Brought about by an unfortunate situation, but it is what it is. So they've given you those grant dollars to prioritize. We've had some preliminary discussions with administration, and we see this as more of an educational dialogue tonight. I may not have all the answers to some questions that you do have, but we're going to work with you through that to chart a course that makes sense for the District Board of Education and community. The benefits, as I see them, and I think my clients see them through the GIZA, Guaranteed Energy Savings Act and ESSER funding, it's a use it or lose it. It's a grant. So you've got a window of time to use it, inject it into facilities where they allow you to. We talked about decreased expenses, utilities, replacement costs avoided. This process really assists the district and facilities department. Let's say you have 5 different things going on. Finish the lighting, do some controls work, do some mechanical work, do some window work, do some roofing work, things that affect that air quality in the building. Sole source accountability through this process. Engineer, procure, construction, manage, punch list out, quality assurance is what this does. It's collaborative, and you also have a guarantee on those savings and energy costs with GIZA as well. I talked about some of our clients. That's a sample slide. I like this one because it shows that we're not just schools. We do a lot of broad things. We learn from a lot of people here. If you look to the far right column center, we built, own, operate, and maintain Hinesfield Central Plant. So the utilities, the heating and cooling down there, that's us. We're looking to renew our 20-year agreement with them right now. And we've done a lot of projects within the area. I highlighted Beaver County and Rochester we're working on as well at this time. Process standpoint, I'm a process guy. I'm not military, but I'm a process guy. We started those conversations. I see this June, July timeframe from our perspective and talking to administration too. We want to work on getting our arms around this as to how to do it best for Aliquippa. And that includes involvement of your solicitor and recommendation from your solicitor on that procurement process that we go down so that we check the boxes, because you have to check the state boxes and the federal boxes on these funds to make sure that you don't have a problem down the road with the grants that you receive. We're going to utilize that time not only to talk process, but have my engineers spend some more time within the district qualifying what we think makes sense to put some scoping around that for you. by the end of summer. I hope you all come to the August meeting, if that's the meeting we make, where we can talk about what we've uncovered and hopefully put a path forward. It will be a competitive procurement. You will have competition in this, and you will make the selection of what best works for you and the company that best works for you through the GISA process. I see that then, with that selection, being able to, I'll say, round out what the final recommendations are for selection to the school board before the end of this calendar year, which sets you up perfectly to move into what can be done during the school year, procurement of any equipment that may happen for next summer for any installation or rehabilitation. Additionally, because we're building some projects now, that's a benefit based on cost of goods. We think they're going to level back out again as the supply chain gets back in check, so things will start costing a little less on our side for our clients. And we're not locked into this, but you do have some, I'll say, sunset provisions or end dates where you have to use funds, and we think this puts you ahead of the curve on that as well. I'd love to entertain any questions that you have, something that we can digest or answer, and then incorporate that in dialogue with administration, your solicitor, and your facilities department moving forward this summer. So any questions will all be great. Otherwise, I think I did a bad job.
I know you spoke about dollar amounts. You just say dollar amounts, it's just gonna be like as you know, years go by, you get dollar.
It will cost you, not so much for the LED lights, but you have aging HVAC systems. They're not old, but they're aging a bit. You're already having some problems with controls. We don't know what that replacement cost is until we get into what I'll call that procurement, where we price everything out. What I'll say traditionally for clients is we usually will save 20 to 30% on your utility bills. Some's already been done with the lighting, which is good, so maybe I'll back that down to 10 to 15% of your utility bills through a traditional guaranteed energy savings project. We'll dig deeper into the repair and maintenance costs and the projections for those moving forward as we make recommendations on things. I don't know, Beaver County Courthouse roof was roughly, I don't know, right around $3 million, I think, as part of the project. They've been having repairs for years, and roof repairs just tend to go from 20 to 40 to 60. They don't go 20, 22, 24, 26. So we'll dig deeper into what those avoided costs would be. You may be roughly 2/3, 3/4 of the way through warranties right now. So you're getting to that point of having to think about those replacements already. And we think this is an avenue that fits, again, with consultation with administration and solicitor to say, does this check that box from your perspective for you? So.
I have a question.
Yes,
You
please.
said that it only dealt with the school, but no athletic. What about our field house, our lights down there on the field?
The lights.
What about the air in the field house, the stand up there where announcers is at? And then once again, like I said, the lights.
Lights, I can't answer that yet. I don't know if that's necessarily improvement outside, because it's not related to air quality inside. We'll have to dig deeper about a press box, I guess. I haven't been to your stadium. I would think air quality in there would be important.
And the field house, because our kids are in there.
And the field house as well. So those are definitely things that we would consider, consult with your solicitor on. Do these check the boxes? Makes sense to me, though. The field lights themselves, I don't know. We'll see. I got asked that question yesterday down in Chester County, PA, so you're not alone. Excellent question. All right.
Thank you, Brian.
Awesome. I appreciate your guys' time. I'll get out of your hair. We thank you again. You've been patient with us since 2019. We hope to be back to see you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
May I ask a question? Tell him talking to Mike, because I couldn't hear him.
He was.
Said you talking to Mike, that's all.
Yeah,
Hello?
he want to ask a question.
Oh, is he telling us to talk into the mic?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, we will. The Aliquippa Board of Directors welcomes residents of the school district and commends you for attending the meeting this evening. We also gladly invite your comments and questions. At this time, local residents who would like to address the board will be invited to approach the podium. You will be asked to please state your name and your address. You may speak for up to 3 minutes. This public participation session is normally limited to about 30 minutes. Prior to adjournment at the end of the meeting, residents will be offered another opportunity to pose questions on items that pertain to the school district. These comments will likewise be limited to 3 minutes. The board may respond immediately to general questions or comments if appropriate, but will often instruct the superintendent, the business administrator, or the solicitor to do further research and report back to the board and/or the resident. If you have specific questions, the board will try its best to respond either at the meeting or shortly thereafter. The board wants to ensure that it is fully informed before responding. So if your questions are not addressed immediately, this is not an indication as a lack of interest on the board's part. Finally, to protect the rights of privacy, the board cannot respond to complaints or comments about specific individuals, employees, or students in a public session. Once again, at this time, local residents who would like to address the board, you are invited to the podium to do so.
Good evening. My name is Diana Gilbert Askew, and I thank you guys for allowing me to. Is it on? You can hear me now?
Your address.
Oh, my address is 1634 McMinn Street in Aliquippa. I'm a seasonal resident here in Florida.
You can't hear. Well,
You didn't hear me?
Maybe you take one around.
He said he didn't hear?
Yeah. He said, yeah. It's okay.
Is that working?
I don't know. Hello? 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 That's it.
Can you hear her now?
Turn that upstairs there.
This is a complaint. I'm here to speak about a few facts, and we are in need of a district that is fair across the board with particular members' conduct. The Beaver County report states that Catherine Collalella has federal charges of criminal conspiracy to defraud an insurance company and criminal attempt of theft and deception. The PSBA Code of Ethics. This is a violation. So you voted for my mother to leave after she resigned, and you're going to allow her to sit on this board and continue to have her seat. The integrity of this board on the matter of the aspect of whatever happens in the district should be fair across the board. It is your duty to this matter to do the right thing. She needs to be held accountable, and for this reason, my mother resigned. She did not want her conduct to cast a negative whatever on you guys, because that's how she felt, and it's her passion. It's been her passion for years in this community. The same judgment held with others who voted her off and has held to your own case here with Catherine Collalella. I look forward to hear from you guys to see what the result is and being fair across the board. I don't care what it is. It don't have to be Catherine. It can be anything, but be fair in your votes when you're voting people off. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have petitions to sign petitions that I'll submit to the board.
Can you bring those up now?
You want those?
All right, is that it?
name is Destiny Hannon of 112 King Street. I'm here on behalf of my child. Based on the school prank that went too far last week, we were recently told that she won't be able to walk for commencement. And I understand, I apologize if she had anything, whether it was inside or outside of the school. But her not walking for commencement, I don't agree with. She should be number 5 in her class. She's been a model student athlete. She's not perfect, but she's not a problem. She made a mistake. We all have. There's nobody here who has not made a mistake in life. I don't think that this is the punishment that should be cast upon these kids. Maybe they could do some community service in our city. I mean, it looks a mess, so how about they help clean that up? Or even if it's some sort of fine, anything. But them not walking for commencement, something they've worked their whole lives for, I don't think is fair. I hope that you guys can consider it or take it into some type of consideration. Just don't be so quick to judge, because none of us are without fault.
Thank you.
Do you need to respond or no?
Somebody's.
Hello, everyone. My name is Heaven Lee. My address is 115 Oliver Street. I am the mother of Angela Lee and second mother to a lot of these seniors. I am sincerely sorry for the mistakes that my daughter made, and she is also. Miss Alexander can contest to that. These kids made a mistake, just like a lot of you have. I know myself. I've done a lot of things in school, out of school, before I turned 18, after. And everybody wants a second chance. You guys are trying to condemn these kids for making a mistake, and yes, it was a crime. It was a crime once they set foot inside of that school, knowing very well that they should not have. However, I agree with Destiny Hannon. My daughter and her daughter have been around each other all of their lives. These kids are not bad kids, none of these kids. And the simple fact that, okay, they need to be all held accountable for what they did. I'm not saying a slap on the wrist. Okay, I don't agree with them not being able to walk, but you have to face the consequences for what you did. But to hear that they are possibly facing charges as young adults, that is steep. I feel like that is a lot. And even the kids that didn't even go inside of the school, you guys were expecting a senior prank. They pulled a prank. This goes back so many years, and the fact that some of the pranks that was done to the school prior to were done inside, outside, and nobody has ever been held accountable like what you guys are trying to put our kids through. I know myself and a lot of these other parents, we have worked our whole lives. I acted up completely in school, but now I'm trying to teach my daughter a better way. I want her to go to college and be something. I want her to get out of Aliquippa. I have a complete love-hate relationship with Aliquippa, and it's because of the favoritism. Not just the favoritism, but the fact that we sit around as adults and we become hypocrites. We forget about the things that we went through as children, as teenagers, as young adults, and we try to act like we never did anything wrong. You guys actually made these kids come to the school and tell on their friends. I understand that they made a mistake and they need to be held accountable for that. I am no way, in no shape or form, condoning anything that any of them did, starting with my. And she apologized because she knew she was wrong. These kids have been through enough. You guys could have made them clean that school from top to bottom all summer, community service, giving them a fine, taking their parade away, but for you to take away from them what they have worked so hard for. They have worked their entire lives. Some of these kids went to Head Start twice. Head Start, kindergarten, and then 1 through 12th grade. Their whole lives to not be able to walk because of a mistake that they made. I feel like everybody is being hypocrites. That's just how I feel about it. I said what I said. I'm sorry that y'all don't agree with me, but that's just how I feel.
My name is Tamara Tyson. I live at 400 Superior Avenue, apartment 301. I was just contacted yesterday from the school and was told that my daughter couldn't walk, nor could she do the commencement exercises. And when I asked why, I was told that she was on camera inside the school. And I asked, I said, okay, is there a way that I can see my child? I just want proof that it's my kid. That's it. That's all I'm asking for. I was told no. And then I asked, can you tell me, okay, well, where was she in the school? If you can't show me where she was, can you at least tell me where she was? Only thing I ever got was it was just under investigation. And her name came up, and I don't understand, like, how is it that you can only have a meeting for certain students, but then you not give the other students a chance to explain themselves as to what it is that they did do or did not do. That was not ever even offered. It was just, okay, there, she's not walking, she's not permitted to come at all, but then there's nothing else. I just feel like if you're going to sit up here and punish everybody, at least give them a chance to explain. Like, hearsay is never admissible in court. It's not. And if you plan on charging kids, then that means that somebody's going to have to testify that they were actually there. So to punish them and you don't have no solid proof, and I was actually told by the principal, the assistant principal, that they don't have a clear picture. So now at this point, if you don't have a clear picture, how is it that you have names and you can just run with that? I agree. Everything that was done, it was wrong. It was taken too far. They do need consequences, but taking graduation, the walk away from them is not it. It's enough to do around the city, the schools, period. It's two of them. It's enough that they can actually do. Doesn't matter what hours y'all want them, whatever it is that they need to do it. I'm quite sure every student who was a part of it wouldn't have a problem with it. They wouldn't have a problem with whatever the consequences that's going to be laid out. It's just, I am not okay with everybody not walking. I'm not okay with kids getting charges. I'm not okay with disrupting their lives before it starts. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Naraya Harris. I live at 384 Lamar Terrace. I'm the president of the class of 2021. So I would like to say something for all of us. So, we took so many losses this school year. Not walking will be the biggest one yet to come. The class deeply apologizes for the prank. It honestly did go too far, and we apologize deeply for that. We understand that what we did was wrong. We are open to doing community service around the school, outside of the school. Pranks have been done in the past. Nothing has been done to the classes. They have been able to walk, so why shouldn't we be able to walk? I think that's it. I think that's it. Thank you.
My name is Tanya Conrad, address 113 Wagaman Street, Aliquippa. Yesterday, I was also told that my son was identified on video. I asked to see the video and then was told that there is not video of him. So it was hearsay. I pulled the location on my son's cell phone, and it does not show him in this building at the time I was told he was here. So I feel like if you're gonna take graduation, something that they've worked for their whole lives and they cannot get back, you need to give solid proof. You need to know for sure that my child was there.
What street?
Hi, my name's Alan Zambo. I live at 2211 McMinn Street in Aliquippa. Here to speak for my daughter. I was informed yesterday while I was at work that my daughter Kayla would not be allowed to participate in commencement or graduation. I asked why. I was told it was a district's decision. Okay, why? Because of a school prank. What proof? Her name was brought up. I can name names too. I asked if there was a picture. Not a clear one. How do you know it's her? You don't. Hearsay is hearsay. You can't hold that against kids. They've worked all their life for this. Unless you have proof, leave the kids walk. Leave them enjoy it. Then they're gone. They're off to college. They're off to their jobs. Are they sorry? Yeah. They're kids. We all done it. Thank you.
Anybody else? You have to put your phone on.
I thought it was on.
All right, is that it? Thank you all.
Donald Walker, 1322 Main Street. On behalf of the city, if y'all would like to do the community service, as Ms. Hannah said, city's a mess, caused by most of y'all throwing litter, we would accept that punishment. Well, that's up to the school to dish it out, but we would love to have you as a form of punishment. I think that's a good idea. I think that's an awesome thing. If they accept the punishment as a lieu of to walk, we would accept it. I think that's a great idea. I think that's why one of the more noble things y'all can do. It may not make up for it, but it'll get you in the right direction. So you can work with our street department, if that's what our parents would like to do, we can set something up that way for those who, are part of it. But as a city official, I feel like I would wait for something like that, something to say, to give back to your community, to say, man, I messed up, but I'm gonna fix it. Ms. Lee said something awesome, second chances. So if y'all take it seriously, y'all serious enough about that type of punishment, I'm serious enough to take it from you. And I'm gonna tell you also, I appreciate it. And it's a step in the right direction as far as saying sorry, whether you were in a part of it or not a part of it. She just asked me, Brittany's asking what the city gonna do, what the mayor gonna do. City and state, separate. Everything we do, we support, we come alongside the school district. It's not a save all. You parents are the save alls. I get tired of everybody pointing the finger at the school district, or sometimes the parents gotta step up and take ownership of it. You have to. I gotta own my house. I can't be a leader in my community if my kids are doing everything they need to do wrong. I understand that. Wrong is wrong. And I'm not gonna stare at Band-Aid nothing, because my daughter's name was brought up into some of this, but I would tell you this. All three of my kids can tell you this. You wrong, you face the consequences. I'm off a back, whether it's tears or something else. But I will not defend that. But I think a noble thing for y'all to do as a senior class, if you want to do community service, we welcome it. We'll set you up with Alice, our street department crew. City's a mess. We'll put y'all names down, y'all can cut grass, y'all can pick up garbage. If that's a amends and a step in the right direction, I honor y'all for that, and I clap for y'all. That is a great idea. Y'all should get back to it. You might not like it, but you should get back. You should. And if this is a step in the right direction, maybe I'll leave for my sons, the ones that love Carl and love Vernon and love what they do. And if they see them out there cutting grass and picking up garbage, I know my son will get his light skin butt up, and he gonna go pick up garbage and cut some grass too. So, just letting y'all know, if y'all want to do that, if that's y'all feel as parents, talk to me. I'll set it up. I'll set it up with Alice, our street department. Y'all have his phone number. Y'all can make that time available. Whatever the school feels is enough time for y'all to serve, we'll do that. If it's 30 hours, that's fine. If it's 60, that's fine. But if y'all want us to come alongside and ask me what we're gonna do, the city can come alongside the school district, not take to lead, but we'll come alongside and if they agree to that punishment in lieu of walking or in lieu of doing something else, I'm all for it. That's just me doing something, okay? But I can't make comments on school things because separate school and city is separate. But I will come alongside the meeting. Thank you.
Mr. Walker, can you get your address, please?
1322 Main Street.
Thank you.
But if anybody need to just reach out to me, parents, reach out to me. You said you got me on the vote number, just call it, set it up. If y'all won't let me do that, we start me a lot of records.
The settlement of an assessment appeal filed by. All right, the minutes of the May 12th and May 19th, 2021 board meetings. Any questions or comments? Any questions or comments? No. All right, administrative content. All right, the following tax parcels exonerating all prior taxes up to the 2020-21 school year as listed. Guys, take a look at that. All right, any questions or comments? The assessment appeal.
Yes, the Verland group has a group home on the street. Yeah.
Is 2768 Broadhead Road.
Oh, yeah, on Broadhead Road. I think it's up near the shopping center. 4 years ago, they filed an assessment appeal and agreed that the use as a group home was proper under the not-for-profit law. But they agreed 4 years ago to pay 1/4 of the tax that they would have. I would say that the tax for the school district is probably around $1,500 a year, so that they would be paying 1/4 of that over the next 4 years. And it would continue as they have in the past. It's called a payment in lieu of taxes, and is often used when there's a nonprofit entity that then helps to defray part of the costs of the of being located in the school district, and instead of paying real estate taxes. So it's my recommendation that we approve this settlement. The county has approved it, and I'm not so sure about what the city has done yet, but the county and the school district would definitely want to approve this.
All right, any questions, guys? Any questions or comments?
I have more research on this before we approve it, so no, we need to table this.
Oh, we're just deliberating.
Just deliberating.
Okay. All right, this MOU, Memorandum of Understanding.
I can explain.
Go ahead.
Okay, every 2 years, under the Safe School Act, we have to renew our MOU with the police department, that we work together, and if we call them, they come here, and we work together when we do the Safe Schools report at the end of the year. What we submit to the state, the chief of police has to sign on that also, so it's just a partnership between the school district and the police department.
All right, any questions or comments? The PSBA All Access Package.
Okay, I know there was some discussion last month. As you know, the All Access Package is that, almost $6,300. The standard membership is would be $3,800, the standard membership, so.
What's the difference?
There's
What
a
do you, can I see
chart,
it? Or can you get me a copy of it?
I think I sent one home.
Okay. I didn't look at my copy.
So, are we staying with the access, or we
these standards.
Do they both provide the policy services?
I don't think so.
I
don't think so.
The policy maintenance is the all access, which is
Yeah,
what we need.
One of the most important things that PSBA does, they do two important things, or three things. They advocate for public education, they educate school board members and administrators, and most importantly, they provide the policies that you have. We have their full and entire policy manual that we adopted 2 years ago. But most importantly, they do the annual updates. And you see as the policies come through the policy committee, we certainly don't have an overabundance, but they do come through. They keep tabs on current developments of both statute, rules and regulations by the Department of Education, and case law. If you were going to ask your solicitor to do that work, it would be well much more than $3,000 a year, if a solicitor was even qualified and had the time to do that. I think the solicitor's role is to review the policies that the experts have put together. They have several people working in their main office on these projects, and they standardize the policies, attempt to standardize the policies across the, I think, 500 school districts, plus the intermediate units, the CTCs. It's a almost invaluable service of providing the policies. I would suggest that you would pay for and use the package that gives you the policies.
All right, and that all access package is $62.80.
Yes.
And then what is the standard package?
$3,800.
Okay.
And it was brought up, I think, at the last meeting that it's a standard rate across the state.
They've done a 2-year freeze on
Yeah,
their dues.
on ours.
Yes.
I saw the same item as on the Hopewell agenda for next Monday. Their fee is over $11,000. So it must be in some way, shape, or form rated or charged on student population and perhaps land value. I don't know that formula for sure. But it was stated at the last meeting that it's a flat rate for all school districts, and that's not in fact the case.
Okay.
Thank you.
Finance.
April financial report. Motion to approve the following reports for April 2021. Treasurer's report, report of taxes collected, report of delinquent property tax collection, general fund financial statements, and cafeteria fund financial statements.
Any questions or comments?
Okay. Number 2, May financial reports. Motion to approve the following reports for May 2021. The treasurer's report, report of taxes collected, report of delinquent property tax collections, general fund financial statements, and cafeteria fund financial statements.
Those attachments were sent home.
Any questions or comments?
Okay, number 3, disbursements. Motion to approve the general fund disbursement in the amount of $633,006.42 for June 2021. General fund ratification in the amount of $351,240.51 for May 2021. And cafeteria fund disbursements in the amount of $64,011.76 for June 2021.
Those attachments are at your desk. The copies were made.
We're going to take a 5-minute recess.
Thank you.
I'm here.
All right, let's go. All right, budget. Where's Tori?
Outside interviewing.
John, do I need to call this meeting back to order? Yeah. Okay, did I just say this meeting is called back to order? Okay.
She's right outside in the hallway talking to the. She's talking to the reporter.
Should we start now, or should we wait till they come? John?
No.
Wait till the rest of them come. Yeah. Yeah, let's just wait.
Oh, no.
Okay, this is terrible. He said we need to wait. Can you tell her?
Oh, my goodness. Where's everybody at?
Ready to go? We get ready to start. I'll call you.
All right. Is he still on it?
Yep. And all I'll do is hit this gavel, say this meeting is called to order. All right. We are back in session. 2021-22 budget.
Okay. Recommendation to approve the general fund budget for the 2021-2022 school year with the revenues and expenses both equally. $26,291,175. Real estate taxes, 261.5 mills on land, 3.5 mil increase, and 41.5 mills on buildings, 1 mil increase. And they're listed there, $5 per capita, 104 occupational privilege tax, 0.50% wage tax, 0.50% mill wholesale tax, 0.75% mill retail mercantile tax, and 0.50% realty transfer tax.
All right, any questions or comments? All right, go ahead.
Okay, Portnoy Law Associates. Recommendation to approve the addendum between the Aliquippa School District and Portnoy Law Associates to collect delinquent property taxes on behalf of the district. The addendum extends the prior agreement for a period of 1 year through and including April 30th, 2022.
If you, on your packet that was sent home, I know there was talk of 6 months. They are willing to do 1 year extension, and I highlighted some of the changes they're willing to do for the 2020 tax accounts that are delinquent. They're willing to send a soft letter first at no cost to the district. That will save $40 plus certified postage charge that is added to the first letter. Then they're willing to offer a 3-month payment plan for a bookkeeping fee of $25. This would normally be $40 plus all the postage. And for anybody that would need an extended payment terms, they would charge a $50 bookkeeping fee. So they're willing to work with us, and that is much, correct me if I'm wrong, Mrs. England, the costs are much lower than what they were prior to that.
All right, any more questions or comments?
Okay. Omni. Motion to approve the services agreement reinstatement with the Omni Group for the 403B, 457B administration services effective July 1st, 2021 through and including June 30th, 2022 at a cost of $1,536. There is no increase.
All right, any questions? Full service network.
Full Service Network. Motion to approve the agreement with the Full Service Network for a 5-year agreement for a cloud-based phone system effective July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2026. The cost will be $599.99 per month per building.
Right now, our current phone system is one that we used when the buildings were renovated, so it is outdated, and as the phones or parts need to be replaced, it is very hard to find those things. So this is an opportunity for us to upgrade, and right now it's about $540 a month per building, so it would be about $60 a month more per building.
For a better system.
Yeah, for Ms. England, anything you want to add, or did I
No,
miss
we
anything?
have major issues with our phone system now. I just got messages from May 24th on my phone today. So we have major issues going on. This system definitely needs to be updated.
Have we shopped around for other networks?
The IT department has, yes.
And what would the cost for the other ones?
I honestly don't know.
I don't
They
have
looked
those.
into
I
that.
can, I can find out.
Could you bring it to the next meeting?
Sure.
Thank you.
So somebody picked this one? This is the best one, or what? How did they do that?
IT
Was the recommendation.
was the recommendation for a cloud-based system.
It was their recommendation. And why is it $599.99? Why not just even $600?
I don't know. I don't know.
That was to irritate you. You got that right.
Is it okay if we just put $600 instead of $599.99?
No, that couple cents.
Oh, they're saving the district 1 cent. Okay, thank you.
All right, education and technology.
Recommendation to approve resolution number 04/2021 declaring an emergency pursuant to the school code, section 520.1 regarding the COVID-19 pandemic for the purpose of confirming a required instructional days and time.
If you remember, last July, we approved the same thing. What this does, it gives school districts the flexibility to either be fully in school, fully in person, hybrid, remote, or virtual, if the circumstances need to call for that. So obviously at this point, we finished the year in person, we're going to start the year in person, but this just allows flexibility for next school year.
Recommendation to approve Jared Lakovich and Charles Bratner, junior, senior high school professional employees to be poultry science summer enrichment program instructors, Tuesday, June 15th to Thursday, August 5th, 2021. The cost is $6,865 and will be paid from ESSER's funding.
Okay, Dr. Sheffield from Tame, Dare to Excel, approached ourselves and another school district about offering this for, it's with the county through the housing development. So students that live in a housing development, and we are working with Aliquippa Impact also. That's where the students are going to go after they complete the project here. They will come to school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then they will actually go to somebody's farm on Thursday and participate in this project.
Any questions or comments?
Recommendation to approve a memorandum of understanding with the Dodgio Health Power Up program effective October 1st, 2021 through and including September 30th, 2023.
Any questions?
Adagio Health.
They come to the elementary school and they do nutritional lessons on food and exercise with the students in the classrooms. They've been, I'm going to say it's probably been at least 7, 8, 9 years they've been doing this.
I guess I'm doing athletics.
Good.
Football summer conditioning. The football summer conditioning program beginning Monday, June 21 through Friday, August 6, 2021 at a cost of $3,570. Any questions or comments?
How are they doing that?
Like, who are we paying?
Well, Coach Warfield, whoever the head coach is, they determine how they spread it out amongst the assistant coaches.
Any other questions? All right, the football coaches, as listed on the agenda. Any questions?
Is this all the same staff as last year?
No.
No.
So I assume everybody has their clearances.
That's what I was gonna ask, with clearances.
Yes, they all have turned in their clearances. Robert Koger is new. Greg Gill and Garrett Tonio were volunteers.
So they're not, and their clearances are already
Was it Gil and Jenny in middle school?
in.
Are they middle school?
Yeah, they got clearances, they was already
You
here.
have- okay. All right.
No question?
Yeah, so were there always 11 coaches? Or were a couple volunteers that are now being paid?
This is what was suggested, or this is what Coach Warfield would like for next year.
Okay.
We did discuss an athletics meeting back in March or April.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, volleyball coaches. Carmen Jackson as the head volleyball coach for the contract of 3 years, July 1, 2021 through and including June 30th, 2024, at a salary of $3,700 for the 2021 season. Any questions or comments?
Is that for JV volleyball or varsity?
That's varsity.
Not JV, junior high? Or do we do that at a different time?
That's in the spring, yes.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah, why is it going to June 30th, 2024, when the season is over before that? I thought we were going by season and not by school year.
We can do that.
It says season here, but the season is over. Is Karma here?
I'm here.
By the end of November.
Well, yes, Karma. Your season over for high school when?
The middle of October.
Middle of October, okay. So if she's done in the middle of October, why are we extending to June 30th,
We can make-
2024?
We can change that. That would be,
Because you have season here, so that's why
I'm
I'm
gonna say
asking.
October or November.
You can't say October if they go to playoffs, it runs in November.
What's that?
You
We can
can't say
contingent
October
if they go
31st.
to playoffs, or
I would just make it November.
Is that including your playoffs?
No.
No. So,
So that would go, the season with playoffs and states will probably be done in the second week of November.
okay.
So November 30th.
We should say the end of November then. You'll be done with the
So
whole.
does that mean that's when she's paid at the end of November?
We should be paid at the end of the season anyways.
End of the
Yeah.
Okay, so we're doing that for
So
everybody
we'll,
now?
yeah, for coaches, yes. It's the clubs.
I got it.
When did your season start for high school volleyball?
Start as us being in the gym or start?
No, like when you start your conditioning. You probably started already.
We're conditioning right now.
Okay, all right. All right, well, okay, you're still good, okay. So how would you do it? You do a 3-year contract, yeah? How would you do a 3-year contract?
Just ending November 30th, 2023. Well, it would be 3 because it'd be the 21 season, 22 season, 23 season.
Yep.
3 season contract.
Yes. What's that?
Well, I was listening to y'all conversation.
Oh, okay.
That was eavesdropping.
Are you clear, Ms. Kane?
Yeah, so what's the final?
It'll be November 30th, 2023.
November, okay.
2023.
Because it's the fall.
I got you.
Because that's
Got
the
it.
fall. You got that? That's why she didn't get paid in December and not have to wait until.
All right, the assistant volleyball coach, Shaquela Hardy, as the assistant volleyball coach at a salary of $2,000 for the 2021 season. Any questions or comments?
Yeah, if she's gonna be 3 years, how come the assistants?
Well, they can pick and choose their assistants.
Okay, so the assistant will be renewed every year?
Yes.
Okay.
Voted on every year?
The assistant would be, yes.
All right, basketball coach's salary for the 2021-2022 as listed on the agenda.
Okay, so along the same lines, their season hasn't even, do you just want to keep all the coaches in the same, vote on them all in the same time frame? Is that?
Trying to do we've always tried to do the fall and the winter, late spring, early summer. So
Okay.
they're approved.
Any other questions?
So when you gonna put the date? Don't you need a date in here? A start date and an end date?
Well, it just says for the 21-2022 season.
Right.
Because they started conditioning
But each-
already also, right?
Each one of these start at a different time. They don't all start at the same time. So shouldn't you, because girls basketball.
I don't know if you should be doing a season or a year.
You know, they should all be grouped together because he starts earlier than, high school girls basketball. Am I correct? Is he here? How about you, coach?
No, they do. They're in season with us.
With junior high?
Yeah.
Okay. So there you go. So what is this? What is your season? For junior high?
For junior high basketball?
Yes.
It runs the same time it does, but I think they're done, at the end of September.
End of September. So is it safe to say they start in August?
Yes.
So wait, alls we're voting on is their salaries.
Yes.
Okay, so it really doesn't,
It's for their season.
but they're
yeah,
gonna get
it's-
paid at the end of their season, so we're just voting on their salaries.
That's correct.
Okay.
But we still need to have a clarification so we understand the language in here. So we don't have the problem again we had before. That's all I'm asking.
Any other questions? All right, personnel.
Recommendation to approve the following resignations for retirement purposes as listed below.
Okay, two comments. There was one name last month that has rescinded her intent to retire, and I also accidentally omitted one name, Tracy White. Her name should be on there. It'll be on there next week. She still intends to retire. I apologize.
Just because where she's.
She's in elementary school professional.
What's her effective end date?
That'll be June 12th also.
Okay. Any questions or comments?
Recommendation to approve the resignation of Mrs. Debbie Engelman, Business Administrator Board Treasurer, effective June 30th, 2021. Recommendation to approve the resignation of Mr. Mark Zeno, Junior, Senior High School Professional Employee, effective August 10th, 2021.
You know?
I didn't know.
Recommendation to approve the resignation of Dr. James Tatum as the school district doctor, effective June 30th, 2021.
We have another one?
No, we do not have a doctor yet. I did put an ad in the Beaver County Times and have made some phone calls to some of the doctors that I know personally, and we still don't have anybody yet. So I know fall sports physicals are coming up, and Mr. Ludon has spoken with Dr. Rebar, and he thinks he can at least take care of that for the moment. Correct? Yeah.
Recommendation to approve Dr. Daniel Cristo as Aliquippa School District Access Doctor, July 1st, 2021 through and including June 30th, 2024 at the cost of $200 per month.
Can I say something on that? It should be $2,000 a year. We pay him $200 a month for 10 months. The contract is $2,000 a year.
Okay, thank you.
Well, who's this doctor?
$2,000 a year, it's $200 a month for 10 months. And we'll be paying for it.
Dr. Guzzi,
He's the.
you'll explain it the best.
Sure. The Access program is we're a provider of Medicaid as a school district, so we could bill directly through Access for services like occupational therapy, speech therapy, personal care assistance, and other services like that. we do the paperwork in 15-minute increments, and we put the paperwork into Medicaid, and we receive money per unit. And then at the end of the year, we do a cost settlement. The doctor's job is to review what we say is billable, and then sign off on a med-off form, which is done electronically. I view the paperwork, get the signature, send it to the doctor, he views it, and if he deems it billable, it's almost like a prescription. And then it comes back and we keep it on file. For a year, we can bill for that service. So what he basically does is review our work, show that it has fidelity, and then signs his name and his credentials, make it billable to Medicaid. So that's what we do.
What kind of doctor is he?
He's a medical doctor.
Medical, MD?
Yes. Just a few years back, they took away the ability to use a nurse practitioner, so that's all you can use.
Recommendation to approve the payments for the following 2020-2021 sponsors as listed below.
All right, any questions or comments?
Yeah, this list has to be looked at because from the year past, the amounts is not right. First of all, who sets these amounts?
I was gonna ask that. Who determines who
They're in
gets?
the teacher's contract, it's on the matrix.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't get
Who
that.
sets the
Contract?
amounts? I know it's in the contract, but who sets the amount?
That was what was agreed upon when the contract was negotiated.
When was it negotiated? First of all, I can't hear them.
We don't know because there's nothing.
When was the contract?
Oh, that was 2017, 2018 school year.
So maybe it should be
It's went into
looked at?
effect July 1st, 2018.
So maybe we can like look at it again, like.
Whenever
the
contract is up, we can do it.
When is it up?
2024, there's still 3 more years.
Okay, what I'm saying is, okay, we got this contract here for these people listed here. And since 2015, some of these people have not been paid according to this contract. And you all know that we brought it up, that I brought it up before because people were not being paid according to this contract. So now you're bringing it back up again. So we have to go back and revisit this because the people who did not get paid in 2017, 2018, according to this list, we need to make it right for them.
Sometimes in 2017, 2018, the contract may have been different, but afterwards, if you want to tell me which ones need to be adjusted, I can double check.
Okay, well, so if you give me 2017 or 2016 before this, then we can go back and see what it was, because according to this, it's not right. And I know people have came to the board or have come called Debbie or Betty or somebody and said, you know, you got this here, and they've been fighting for years to get their money, but then now you put this here, so it's not right. So we do need to visit this. Whatever the contract was before that, we just need to see to make sure it's right, that's all. Okay?
The union voted on the contract. Nobody's ever approached me about these rates being wrong. But we can
yes.
absolutely discuss. No one's approached me, but we can absolutely.
Okay,
discuss.
but I don't know if they approached you, but I know you knew about it because we brought it up. And all you said was, that's what it says in the contract. But we never seen this. And I requested this just to see, because she kept coming and saying, well, y'all short me. You say 550 here, but it says 750 here. Now we got years 1 to 4, 5 to 8, and then years 9. So if she's been doing this for 5 years, then, okay, so it's not right. We just need to revisit. That's okay. Just talk about it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Okay, building and grounds.
Recommendation to approve private industry council to provide summer programming for 2 weeks, July 12th and July 19th, 2021. The program will be held Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Right, any questions or comments?
Yeah, who?
That's Head Start.
Gotcha.
There's nothing to report on capital projects, nothing to report on policy and information.
I do have information for policy.
But I do want to say something first. I'm not going to speak on the matter of what I'm dealing with in my personal life. This isn't the place, and I can't speak on it. What I will speak on is that somebody chose to point my 12-year-old child out to the media, and that was completely inappropriate. I'm dealing with enough. I've been through enough in the past year. I didn't deserve what was done tonight. Any of you that know me, I pray that you know my character well enough to know that this is wrong, okay? I'm gonna get through this. My family's gonna get through this. I do not need to be publicly attacked the way I was. I'm gonna go on to the policy. So we had a policy committee conference call Monday evening, and Mrs. Kane had brought up some questions in regards to a couple of our policies. The first one, and I gave all the board members a package of our policies that I did tell Mrs. Kane that I would review and look over. Mrs. Kane had questions in regards to our board policy from section 000, code 005, in regards to our board secretary. And in our current policy, it states that we will elect for a term of 4 years a board secretary. The questioning was whether we could rewrite the policy and adjust it to change that to a 1 or 2 year term, so it's not 4 years, to kind of realign it to other officers' positions on the board. After further review, you will see the second set of paperwork that I gave you is from the school code from 1949. If you look at section 404 in school code, which is the school law, it does state that the secretary position is a 4 year term. So we have to abide by what's in the school code. I know you had questioned if we changed it about rescinding the vote on Ms. Delcine's contract, but seeing as how it's in the school law, we can't change it to a 1 year term for the secretary.
I didn't say a 1 year term.
Well, we can't, it has to be a 4 year.
It has to be 4 years. It says voting, so every 2 years we vote.
No.
Yes, we do. It's a, well, okay, let me rephrase that. Every 2 years, there's a primary and a general election. And that's what this referred to. 4
Right.
years after election is what it
But we
said.
have to go by, based off of what the school law says, and our current policy aligns with that. I will read it. It says the school director
You
shall.
don't have to read it. I just asked the
Okay.
question if we could do it in line with everything else that we do on the board.
And
the answer
unfortunately,
is no.
yeah,
Okay.
we can't,
Okay.
based off of the school code. The second school code that I did print out for you, because we have had discussions in regards to an assistant secretary for the board, is section 434 of the school code. And it states that we do have the right to appoint an assistant secretary. But it says the appointment of an assistant secretary would, their presence would be in the absence or disability of our current secretary. So if Ms. Delcine was not here and not able to do her job, then the assistant secretary would fill in for her slot.
So you only
That's a paid position, so.
It is not a paid, assistant
No, it's-
secretary.
No, hers is a paid.
Hers
position.
is a paid
So what,
position.
if she comes in and someone comes in and, fill in for her?
An assistant secretary is, it says it shall not be a paid position. The second policy that was brought up was related to section 100, our programs, code 100, in relation to our strategic plan. There was question about us receiving quarterly updates from the superintendent in regards to this. And this actually speaks in regards to our comprehension plan. That's what it speaks of. We do have a designated person. And if you read through the policy, the quarterly updates should come from the superintendent or whoever the designated person is. Beth Smith is our designated person that handles our comprehension plan. We just updated it in May of last year, Pete.
Yes, that's when we submitted for approval.
So I'm guessing, and I know you've had a lot on your plate because you've been dealing with the hybrid model and stuff, maybe that's why we haven't gotten quarterly updates. But maybe we can sit down and kind of work together, because it does state that it is the responsibility of the board to work with administration and the teachers and the students to make sure that we're all working together to build this strategic plan. So maybe we all can sit down and maybe put together a group that we can work together on that strategic plan, and then we can get on track this year coming up to do our quarterly updates moving forward.
Are we doing any more public comments?
That's the only updates I have for policy. But I don't know if you guys have any questions or whatever. Dawn, do you kind of coincide with what I was saying as far as the school code for the secretary?
Yes.
Okay.
So you are asking somebody for the assistant secretary, that's what I'm trying to get, to come in and volunteer their time? To take it, or are we appointing someone to do that?
So that's the information that I gave you guys. If you, it's also, that's also part of, the policy that I gave you guys for code 005. If you, go to the bottom of that policy, hold on, let me see which page it's on. It's on the second page, under appointments, number 3, that we do have the capability to appoint an assistant secretary, but in reference to that, when you look at the PA school code, it says that that position would be just if she was absent or not able to do her position, they would fill in, and they would not receive any type of compensation.
Do need an executive session, personnel, no action to be taken.
I do have an update for CTC too.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Do you want me to go now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so, for the CTC, they're going through the end of the year reimbursements. I'm not sure the exact number, Debbie, I don't know if you received it, but we will be receiving back like $18,500 from the CTC.
We did get the final bill. For some reason, I thought it was like a 13.5 credit, but I could be off a couple $1,000.
Yeah,
We did
based
get
off
the
of my documentation, we should be receiving about 18,000.
I'll double check. We did get the final bill. I'll double check.
There is a little bit of stuff going on as far as, the legal aspect of Midland coming out with, the CTC. You know, with John and one of the other solicitors in the county questioning and kind of pushing them to look further into it. There's a lot more involved than what they expected. So right now that's kind of on hold, because when the CTC was originally established, all 14 districts in the county did contribute money to build the building and do have investment into the properties. So they kind of have to work through some legal processes and making sure that they don't have legal rights to that. Like, we have to go through and they have to basically do away with that old committee, which is non-existent, so that they can release Midland as part of the CTC group. And then I was also re-elected as the treasurer for the CTC from the next year too.
All right, anything else? All right. Nothing from the BVIU. Come on, open up this public comment.
Before we adjourn, yes, and I've been asking for this for the last, this year, community engagement. It's not listed on here. I've spoken with Renee Buffalini, and we have some parenting program we want to head up and start. I would really appreciate if we can put this on our agenda, because it is a committee, and it's a committee that's geared for the community, the school district, teachers, and students. So we can come together at just talk about different things that we're doing within the school district that will affect our kids, and things we're doing that the city and the community is doing that would affect our kids. I would just like to have that. I've been asking for, I don't know how many months now.
There was an idea that was shared with me the other day. I'll share it with you.
Okay. And if anyone interested in joining and getting together with us, hey, give me a holler.
Okay, any final public comment?
Wait, before you dismiss, I didn't get a chance to, after she did policy, was nothing was
Okay, I'm
questioned.
sorry.
Okay, I just want to say, just for clarification, just for those who don't understand, when we were looking at our policy about our officers or whatever, it's about the position, not so much about the person. Solicitor came up, secretary came up, treasurer came up, and the president came up. So each one of those other positions is 1 year. We do it every year for the president, the secretary, the treasurer, and the solicitor. The question came up because the 4 years for the secretary. It's the position, not the person.
That wasn't my intention, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I did say that we wanted to try to realign it with
Yeah,
the other positions.
yeah,
but
that's
we're
good.
not
I just
able to.
want to make that clear that we're looking at all the positions while one was one the other. So there was other positions that we did talk about. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Christina Zamble. I live at 2211 McMinn Street. I'm talking on behalf of my sister and the rest of the seniors that did the senior prank. I would like to ask you all real quick to recall your graduation day. Recall what you wanted to do after graduation. Did you guys want to go to college? Join work? What these kids are possibly up against, accused, if they did it, if they didn't, to have charges pushed against you? That's not okay for anybody that wants to better their future. And some of the kids that were accused, that I know that were accused, including my sister, she wants to go do great things. She's a standout athlete. She's a good student, good leader. She's one of the top 10. I remember when I graduated a few years ago, I was one of the top 10. And being up on stage like she should be, and being able to walk across the stage and get your diploma with all your friends, that's a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And even if, and all I know is everybody always says one Aliquippa, one team, one heart. Well, it doesn't feel like one Aliquippa if 1, 2, 3, 15 aren't walking. If you're gonna let the rest walk, then nobody walks. If you're gonna punish one, or let everybody walk, let them all enjoy that moment one last time together. Because honestly, this is one of the last times they might all be together. And let them go live their lives. I know Mr. Walker said about doing community service. Let them go do their punishment, do their time, but let them enjoy their last moments, because I know if I was told a few years ago I couldn't go on stage and I couldn't live out those last moments, I would be heartbroken. And I know yesterday when I came home from work and my sister looked me in my face and said, I don't know how to tell my yaya, which means grandmother in Greek, who is 90 years old. She's not walking for something that she got accused of. And I know a bunch of other people have grandparents, parents that might be not here to see the next one. Kayla's literally the youngest of our family with the grandkids, and that was my yaya's last wish, because she knows she's not gonna be here much longer. So I just ask you guys to think about it. Let them have this one last moment, and let them do their community service. Let them go have a future, because they deserve it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Motion to adjourn.
I move.
Meeting adjourned.